Hi everyone, in this video we'll discuss about basic electrical engineering module 1. So first we'll see the content of module 1. So module 1 consisting of two parts, one is DC circuits, another one is AC fundamentals. So DC circuit is having Ohm's law and Kirchhoff's laws, analysis of series, parallel and series parallel circuits excited by independent voltage source, power and energy. So coming to the next part, AC fundamentals, generation of sinusoidal voltage, frequency of generated voltage, definitions and numerical values of average value, root mean square value, that is RMS value, form factor, peak factor of sinusoidally varying voltage and current, phasor representation of alternating quantities, right. So this is about module 1 syllabus. So first we will take the part 1, DC circuits. First we will see the introduction of DC circuits. What is a DC circuit, what is DC current, and what is AC circuit, what is AC current. So next we will see the definitions of current, voltage, power and energy. So these things we will see in this first video. So later on we will see the Ohm's law, KCL, KVL, that is Kirchhoff laws, and resistance in series, resistance in parallel, voltage division principle and current division principles. Next videos we will see. So right, so coming to introduction of DC circuits. So first, why this subject is need to study. So what is the requirement, what is the need of this subject? The subject of electrical engineering deals primarily with all aspects of current flow, the nature of electric current, type of current, effect of current flows through conductor, resistors, electrolytes, etc. So this subject mainly deals the current flow. So current flow, so which direction current flows and nature of current and type of current, either it is a DC or either it is a AC. So once current flows in circuits, so what is the effect? What is the effect in conductors, resistors and the electrolytes? According to the types of current, so these currents are uh, currents are two types. One is DC current and AC current. So according to current flows in the circuit, circuits are again classified into two types. One is DC circuit and AC circuits, right. So coming to the um, electric circuit, why it is calling circuit and why it is electric circuit. So it is interconnection of various elements like active elements such as voltage source and current source, passive elements such as resistor, inductance, capacitance. So these elements interconnection is called as a electric circuit. So DC circuit consisting of constant voltage source, constant current source and interconnection of resistance only. So this type of circuit is known as DC circuit. So direct current always remains constant, does not vary with respect to time. So you can see the direct current graph with respect to time. So if you take the magnitude, so with respect to time always constant, that is called as a direct current, right. Alternating current, what will happen? So alternating current magnitude is always magnitude and direction changes with respect to time always. That is about AC current. Next, what is meant by current or electric current? We'll see here. So generally you can define current as a rate of flow of electrons in conductive or semiconductive material. So it is measured by number of electrons that flows past a point in unit time. So generally you can say that uh, electrons flow in a conductor or semiconductor material is also known as current, right? So current we are denoting with respect to I or small letter I. So I is equal to Q by T or I is equal to dQ by dt, where Q is change of electrons and T is time in seconds. dQ is small change in charge, dt is small change in time. So here unit of current is ampere, unit of charge is coulomb, it is denoted by Q. So time unit is seconds, it is denoted by small letter t, right? This is about current. So next we will see the voltage or electric potential or potential difference. So what is the definition of voltage is the difference in potential energy of charges is called potential difference. The potential difference in electrical terminology is known as voltage. So if you take the potential difference between any two different terminals is known as voltage, right? So it is expressed in terms of energy per unit charge. So it is denoted with V, right, or small letter V. So we will see the in terms of energy per charge. So voltage V is equal to the rate of change of voltage is equal to dW by dQ, right? So dW is small change in energy, dQ is small change in charge. W is expressed in terms of joules, Q is expressed in terms of coulombs, Q is a charge, and V is voltage is expressed in terms of volts. These are the units of energy, charge and voltage. Next we will see the what is meant by energy. Energy is the capacity for doing work. So it is nothing but stored work, right? So energy we cannot create, we can transform one form to another form. So here examples of energy is mechanical energy, chemical energy, electrical energy, so on. So we can take solar, wind also, right? So it is expressed in terms of joules, right? Next one, power. So what is the definition of power? The rate of change of energy is called power. It is denoted by P. Unit of power is watts. The rate of change of energy is known as power. So power is equal to energy by time, W by T. P is equal to dW by dt, where dW is change in energy, dt is change in time. So we can also write P is equal to dW by dt, that is equal to dW by dQ into dQ by dt, that is equal to V into I. P is equal to VI watts. So if you simplify power by using dW by dt, so we can get so power is a product of voltage and current. So it is measured in terms of watts, right? Next we'll see Ohm's law. So what is the statement of Ohm's law? And what is the limitation? What are the limitations of Ohm's law? We will see. Ohm's law states that the constant temperature current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference between its ends. So that is main by using statement simply we can write I is directly proportional to V. So temperature should be constant. That's what constant temperature. V is equal to IR, where removing the proportionality constant, we you can write IR is equal to IR. So where R is known as resistance of the conductor. We'll see what is the resistance, and if you connect resistance are in series, what will be the equivalent resistance, and if you connect resistance are in parallel, what will be the equivalent resistance. Those things we will see in the next video. So next we will see the limitations of Ohm's law. So Ohm's law is having some limitations. So Ohm's law is suitable for only some of the conditions. So why it is not suitable and what are the limitations of Ohm's law? We will see here. So limitations of Ohm's law. So here we have 4 points. So first one. So it is not suitable for non-linear devices such as semiconductors and Zener diodes. It is not applicable to non-metallic conductors such as silicon carbides where the following relation is applicable. V is equal to generally I into R, but V is equal to K into I power M. So where K and M are constants here. So here is V is not directly proportional to I in such materials, that is non-metallic conductors. That's what non-metallic conductors Ohm's law is not applicable. And Ohm's law cannot be applied to arc lamps. See, arc lamps, why it is not applicable is when the temperature increases, arc lamps brightness will increase. That's what. So here arc lamps temperature is not constant. That's what this Ohm's law is not cannot be applied to arc lamps. Finally, it does not hold good where the temperature rises is rapid in some metals. So these are the limitations of Ohm's law. So in next video we will see the what is meant by resistance, and if you connect resistance or in series, what will be the equivalent, and if you connect resistance or in parallel, what will be the equivalent. Those things we will see in next video. Okay, thank you.